we have pain, you know, we sweat, we bleed on the court, so a constant 48 minutes effort. Go Spurs, go!
Wemby now gets it. Oh! Victor Wembanyama!
So, there's many ways to affect a game, and when you get a player like Victor Wembanyama, well, he can do everything. Already this season, Victor Wembanyama put up 50 points, a triple-double on efficient shooting, and has had multiple 30-point outings. With all the hype around his name, Wemby has sure lived up to it, and for the people that were doubting him at the start of this season, well, he shut them up completely. His defense has been on another level, as he'll just toy with guys by letting them get out in front to then track it down out the air. His confidence to just rise up from 30 feet with no hesitation is absurd, and with his length and height, he can treat elite players like they're kids at the YMCA to then finish the putback. Truly anything he wants to do he's capable of, and that's honestly what makes him a scary force. When you're 7'4" with a near 10-foot reach, you're going to be able to do things that basically no one else can do, and this poses a major challenge for opposing teams. Not often are bigs able to switch on the wings and hold their own when they're looking to score, and this isn't me saying that Wemby is some great outside defender or anything like that, but with him having that size and length, it allows him to get crossed up slightly because unlike most defenders who wouldn't be able to affect the shot at this point, Wemby's able to get a hand up to block it. For the offense, they have to be aware of where he's located at all times, because if you watch here, when Jabari catches, he doesn't even know Wemby is rotating down, so once he turns around to go up for what he assumes will be an easy bucket, well now he's faced with reality. I know when lanes like this open up, it may seem like the perfect route to go score, but with that length of Wemby, he can extend out from outside the restricted area to still block this shot. Yeah, some of these things he does are truly ridiculous. I understand that when you're averaging 3.5 blocks per game, you're gonna have some things that just stand out, but it's not often we see a player get bodied like 3 feet back and still be a threat to block it, so that's why he sees a bonus feed the up fake to get him in the air, which does work, but then to shock everyone, including Sabonis, Wemby spins right back around to smack the ball right out the air.
Early. Wemby rejects Sabonis.
Things like that are what makes Wemby's defensive potential truly limitless. You can try and put him in the pick and roll to open things up, but once again, he's not your average big. Wemby can slide over to stay in front of the ball handler when they start attacking, and although this gap between him and Kessler is pretty massive, for him to make this up is a piece of cake, so now once Keontae George dumps it off, Wemby can make his way right over there, and just unfazed by that off-arm contact from Kessler, he stuffs it right off the glass. You'll see guys come off screens looking for that routine lob, but with Wemby standing right in the middle, it really makes you think twice. So with the roller taking out the picture, Johnny decides to push all the way to the rim, and I'm pretty sure we all know how this one ends up.
Also on the court. Nice job. But
Wemby's ability to cut off the water one way forces defenses to have to look for that second option, and with it usually being a cutter on the backside, this still doesn't work in their favor. If you watch Anthony Edwards on this play, he would usually go up and try to finish over the defense, but with Victor right there, that's a no-go. So Ant decides to instead dish it back out to Gobert, and with some confidence he goes up, and with some shame he gets demoralized. Offenses find themselves always having to reroute their actions just in case Wemby blows things up, and honestly this can get quite exhausting. You're always having to worry about him coming from the backside to block it, or altering your shot to try and avoid the block, but nothing ever works. So soon enough, you'll see guys start to go right at Wemby with no hesitation, and guess how this works out.
The skip to great on Wemby, tried to dunk it on him, and he blocked the shot at the rim.
Yeah, sent at the rim. Guys can try and think they're Macho Man and go right at him to slam it home, but hold on Gobert, you're not that guy. This defensive impact of Wemby's has opponents shooting 16% less on all shots less than 10 feet, which is flat out ridiculous. Guys get nervous, scared, and very cautious when approaching the rim when he's around, but what should really have people worried is how well this 7'4" Frenchman can move on the floor. Sure, on the defensive end he can cover ground, but how about here where he sets up Randall to get hit by CP3, also he could get deep in the paint uncovered, so once catching, all he has to do is plant and pivot away from Randall on the recover and the layup is easy. I know I make things sound simple, but for a guy his stature to set up guys with these stunts and the flare-outs is crazy. This movement gives him an advantage no matter who's on him, as smaller guards or forwards can get set up right into a post catch that ends in a spin-off big body layup, and for bigs who don't have the foot speed to keep up, well good luck stopping him. Not only will he roam freely to get open, as the Spurs will use Wemby in the two-man action a lot, so for one option he can pop off and knock down a 3, for another option he can roll all the way to the basket to complete the lob, and for a great addition to his game, Wemby can stop and pop in that mid-range when the defense plays the paint, and this one right here is straight cash. Now as great as this is, Wemby is also able to create things on the floor for himself, and this just adds another layer the defense has to worry about. He may not have the tightest handle or be a super flashy ball handler in general, but Wemby can get crafty with his moves to get around defenders, and with that elastic body, he can extend all the way out to slam this reverse. Say his man does a great job staying with him when he's on the move. Well, that's where his sound footwork comes in handy, and once given some light, he makes sure to cash in. This threat of him scoring inside brings multiple defenders towards him, opening up lanes for guys to strike, and as you see on this backside, the cut is completely uncovered, and here we go. I know when you see the number of 3.6 assists per game, it may not move you that much, but when you see the way Wemby finds his guys on the floor, it'll show you that he has some passing potential yet to be unlocked. Opposed to last year, Wemby is now turning to scan the floor once catching in these post-up scenarios, and with Sohan setting a back screen, Barnes is wide open on the wing, and this one makes for an easy 3 points. If you pay attention, you'll see Wemby do this almost every time when catching now, because he knows the defense is crashing on him heavily, so the most likely guy to be open is going to be directly across the court from him. By keeping his head on a swivel like this, it not only helps him locate guys open for shots, but it also allows him to see guys cutting to the rim, making for easy warm-up freebies. A lot of his passes tend to come off the gravity he has on the floor just shifting the defense, and just like everything else, his height allows him to make some reads that look way too easy. Sort of like when we shift back to his scoring, Wemby is surrounded by 3 Jazz defenders with a 7-footer contesting him, but with this fade from 14 feet, Wemby makes cashing in look like easy work. Some of these fades are so tough but look so basic due to his height, and once he starts feeling it, well, this is when you'll see defenders start to lose hope. Now hold on, don't take this as me saying that Wemby is a great mid-range shooter, as he's only knocked down 34% of his 49 attempts, but it shows you that he's not afraid to take them, and with some polishing, this could be an area Wemby could dissect the defense. For another area along with the mid-range where Wemby could affect the game is the 3-point line, and trust me, he's not shy whatsoever. On non-3-point attempts per game, it's not the idea that Wemby is some knockdown sniper yet, but it's the potential it holds to both elevate his game and the Spurs as a whole. Standing at 7'4", Wemby can shoot right over the top of most defenders with ease, whether he's spotting up off the catch or creating his own shot off the dribble. His length and high release point make his jumper nearly impossible to contest even when tightly guarded. While he's not lights out beyond the arc, he's already shown flashes that he's okay with taking that outside jumper, which hopefully one day he could turn into a legit floor spacer. If that happens, this will keep defenders honest, as they can't sag off to protect the rim without risking a quick 3, and for the Spurs, this adds another layer of versatility to their offense. Victor Wembanyama's impact on both ends of the floor is already game-changing, and the potential for growth in his skill set makes him one of the most exciting young players in the league. Whether it's his defense, scoring versatility, or the flashes of brilliance he's shown as a shooter and passer, Wemby is truly redefining what it means to be a dominant big man. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you're first to know when I upload. And if you want to support me further, consider joining the YouTube memberships down below.